You what it do, what it is, what it ain't. I know I just blew some eardrums out, man, but it's your boy T. It's the Get Right podcast. We are back just from a week layoff. You know what I'm saying? For 420. No, not really, but hey, I hope y'all enjoyed a good 420, man. For listeners, whatever you partaked in or partook in, I hope you did it safely, wisely, and all that good stuff, man. But again, it's your boy T, man. I got the brain trust with me, Rod. What's happening?
What up, though?
As always, short and sweet, straight to the point. And DC, your boy DC in the place to be. Shout out to the 80s. What's
Shout out
good?
to the 80s, aka Mr. Misconception. Just a man with a beer in his hand, you know.
That's what's up. You got a beer in your hand right now, bro. What we drinking?
Honestly, I'm just drinking water, bro. It's real dry. Hey, the way this weekend been, bro. I'm gonna stick to the water for now, bro. I gotta hydrate, bro. Crit came to town. Crit came to the Queen City, tow it down. I had to do it the right way, and now I'm in recovery mode, bro. So
Man, I ain't mad at that, man. Unfortunately, I missed that Crit concert, but you know, I'm always rocking with the dude, man. So another crazy weekend, and we gonna jump into it, man. Speaking of crazy weekend, you gotta rehydrate. JetBlue. We had some hands being thrown on JetBlue by Iron Mike. I don't believe this was a sanctioned fight, but my man was throwing some hands on the passenger. And the story goes, he met the guy on the plane. Of course, they sitting up in front. The guy, actually, they were cordial at first, and then the guy just kept tapping him on the shoulder. This is reports, kept aggravating him, kept talking, kept trying to get his attention. Mike told him to chill. Dude didn't chill, so Mike baptized him. So, the video, y'all can see that on TMZ. But what's y'all take on that? What's y'all thoughts on that,
man, I'm gonna tell you, bro. I think this whole incident is a classic case of privilege of those who descend from the Caucasus Mountains. You know what I'm talking about? You got a guy who has been clearly drinking too much, poking the bear. Everybody know Iron Mike, bro. Clearly he did. Everybody know his history. Everybody know Iron Mike still got them hands. And this man clearly was taking it too far. I feel like he was poking the bear. I feel like this is one of those situations where, people go to the zoo. You ever see those videos? People go to the zoo and they want to get close to the tigers, and then the tiger mauls them, and everybody want to get mad at the tiger or the gorilla.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's what this situation is. You know what I'm saying? Like, so as y'all know, I don't know if criminal charges have been pressed, but a
No,
lawsuit coming because he's rich. You know what I'm saying?
probably. But the guy that went to the hospital for non-life threatening injuries. They said when he gave a statement, he wasn't 100% cooperative. So take
Okay.
that for what that may be. But that was the last thing that I read. So I'm like, maybe he knew he had it coming, or maybe he just going civil with it. Just do a civil suit and call it a day.
Well, yeah, that's the lawsuit for sure. That lawsuit is definitely coming, bro. I mean, Mike Tyson's just too rich. Even if he didn't think about doing a lawsuit, I guarantee some attorney called him and says, "Hey, we can make something happen here." You know what I'm saying?
I can get you at least 6 figures. I can get you at least.
At least, and bro, it's 6 figures ain't no little bit of money. So, that's what I think is gonna happen, bro. But honestly, I think the dude deserved it. I saw the video. I'm not going to advocate violence, but he had it coming. I'm not going to say he deserved it. Let me not say that. He had it coming. You know what I'm saying? So, sometimes you do things not to say you deserve what you get, but you had it coming. If you'd have just sat down, you know what I'm saying? Got your picture with him,
And then
had
just
your little
spilled
fan
out.
moment, and just been cool for the rest of the flight, we wouldn't be talking about nothing. It's not like Mike just got on the plane, was having a bad day, and singled that man out and gave him hands. Like, that man was asking for the hands. He begged for it, and Mike gave it to him.
How you feel, Rod?
Likewise, man. You get what you ask for, bro. Like, I think social media and all these pranksters and what people see on these different TikTok videos and all that, start letting people get a little too comfortable. Like, you know what I mean? When you from where, where we from, you give somebody their personal space, and all that joking and antics only go so far. So you continue to poke me, especially somebody who hands are legally registered as lethal weapons. Like, I'm not messing with dude like that. You know what I mean? I'm the type of person where I see celebrities, I don't even ask for pics or nothing like that. It's usually a head nod, and we keep it moving. But some people feel the need to try to make a name for themselves. It was being recorded, so he was trying to go viral off of something, and now you got something to go viral off of, and you know what I mean?
Like, yo, ain't you the dude that Mike Tyson?
For real, bro.
Yeah, bro.
But okay, you guys, you know what this reminded me of? Y'all seen on Netflix that Kevin Hart, Wesley Snipes, that movie True Story?
Nah.
Yeah, I seen it.
You-
With
all right.
Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, so
Uh-huh.
Rod, you gotta check that out. It's a great.
Yeah, it's a dope little mini series, like 5 episodes.
Yeah, great.
It ain't gonna take up too much of your time.
But you remember, DC, the beginning, and for you listeners who seen True Story, you remember when Kevin Hart met my man in First Class, and he was talking spicy, with the jokes.
Yeah.
Even his security guard was like, "Bro, chill." You know what I'm saying? That's what that reminded me of. That's exactly what that reminded me of.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Here's my thought, I guess, on that lawsuit. If I'm the judge and I'm listening, this is probably what I would do. I'll say, okay, you clearly had it coming. I'm not gonna give you no 6 figures. Show me your medical bills. You know what I'm saying? If you had to pay, and I want to see your copay. I'm not trying to see. I know you got insurance. I don't want to know that the bill was $10,000, but you paid $50. If your copay was $50 or $100 for going to get checked out, that's what I'm gonna award you. But you ain't getting nothing else, bro, because clearly you was asking to get your ass whooped. Now mind you, that probably won't happen in real life.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
but if I was a judge, I'd be like, I'm gonna pay you. I'm gonna get Mike gonna take care of your medical bills, but that's it. Lesson learned. But that's just me. That's probably why I'm not a judge, bro.
Yeah, he gonna pay out, man, and that's just what it is.
Yeah,
that is simply what that is, bro. So, we're gonna switch gears, man. I guess I'm gonna open up this well, man, because DC, we're gonna throw some rope down this well, man. We're gonna talk, man. I know you said last episode 8, before we took this hiatus, you was like, man, I want to talk about something. I'm trying to go deep. And then I guess we're not going fake deep, so we're going deep this time. So what's on your mind, bro?
Well, we're gonna take it back. I remember we did the first episode, man, and I made some comments that I think probably shook some people up. You know what I mean? Maybe some people were rubbed a certain kind of way. Well, I'm gonna just warn you, this is probably gonna be another one of those moments. You know what I'm saying? So,
but we nice foreshadow.
I love it,
foreshadow.
Mr. Misconception at his best, right
at
here.
His best, man. Step parenting, man. Stepdad, stepmom. My wife is a stepmother. I got homies that are step parents, and I know that a lot of things come along with that, man. And so I just kind of want to open that up, man, and talk about it. I think that's one of those dynamics where, especially in these days, you see more and more blended families. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
For all kinds of reasons. And so it's just becoming more and more common. It's more and more the norm. But I think there's a lot of challenges that come with it. You know what I'm saying? As far as, can the step parent whoop the kids? Can the step parent, as far as discipline, how far can a step parent go as far as discipline? I think that's one of those things that, never really gets resolved. I don't know if there's a clear answer for that. As a dad, you can pay for this kid's lunch, you can do this, you can do that, you can do everything but discipline, so to speak. Or as a mother, family functions, who gets invited to the birthday party, do you bring the ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend over because technically it's their child too? There's a whole lot that goes with it, man. And what's crazy is I know all that, I understand and appreciate it, and this might be crazy, but for that reason, I always said I wouldn't date a woman with kids. You know what I'm saying? As in seriously date a woman with kids. Like, and with that being said, hats off to all the men that do. This is no judgment or side eye to anybody like that. I just know I'm kind of selfish, bro. And you know, if I have to raise somebody else's kids, then I'm gonna do it how I'm gonna do it. And that's gonna be a problem, I imagine, with some mothers out there. And that's regardless if the man is around or not. Because my thought is, and I'm talking about marriage, by the way. I'm not talking about dating. My thought is, if we married and we all under the same house, we gonna go by my rules. You know what I'm saying? And whatever comes with that. So, you know, for that reason, I've always kind of just stayed away from it. Um, because it's a lot, bro. It's a lot. And honestly, my hats off to anybody that has the patience. I guess I have only child syndrome, and you know, I personally wouldn't do it, but I've seen both sides, man. I've seen it work very, very well, and I've seen some instances where it's like, yeesh, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna catch up with y'all later. You know what I'm saying? Y'all handle that. You know what I'm talking about? So that's kind of my thing, bro. Like for that reason, I would never, you know, you got kids, you sorry, you know what I'm saying? Like we ain't, you know. And as crazy is, I'm gonna tell you, I know it's hypocritical because for y'all don't know.
I was ready to go. I was ready to volley
Yeah.
that ball back to your court.
And it's the thing, yeah. For those who don't know, I have a daughter out of wedlock. You know what I'm saying? I got a daughter out of wedlock. I've had drama that came along with that. I ain't gonna go too deep into that.
Now we're gonna need that's a mini series.
That's a mini series. Yeah, that's a mini series, bro.
Jerry.
All day. Or
My baby
Steve.
might listen to this one day, and I don't want to put it out like that. But we done had some things, you know what I'm saying, on that side in that previous relationship. And I know that. And even with that being said, yes, I wouldn't date a woman with kids, and I just felt like I could. You know what I'm saying? Like life is not fair. I'm a man, and a man having kids is different from a woman having kids. I don't have to carry them around everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I had to. Well, I ain't gonna go too deep into that, but as a man, you don't have to. As a man, like we're just more free in that way, and so I leveraged that. And on top of that, I was always a man on top of my business, bro. Like I wasn't the kind of guy that had 3 kids and 7 baby mamas, and everybody chasing me around for child support. I never really had none of that, so I always felt like I brought enough to the table that I could call the shots, and I did. So, and I'm not rich or nothing like that, but I mean, I do me, bro. I do mean I do it well.
That's what's up, bro. And then, so I would say you're right to a sense, and I guess this is how society has the mom with the kids, right? After split up separation and so forth. That's what that is. And we talked about that in the past on a few episodes, right? The reason why they have like welfare and all this other things.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna go that far. Y'all have to check out those episodes. But nonetheless, man, I'm a stepdad. Um, married into the game. So I would say it's definitely ebbs and flows. And for me, it was having the father in the not in the picture and so forth. But things have to happen over time, right? And what I say by this is we got to be adults about the situation. And as adults about the situation now, like we as parents, and I say parents all three, we have conversations now. Is it rainbows and lollipops? No, but the communication is extremely better on how we raise this young lady to be a queen in society. We all are aligned with the same expectations. Um, and then now we just got to just open up that communication. Now, from a discipline standpoint, man, it's girls too. So that's a whole nother conversation. You got girls versus boys, right? The discipline thing. So with girls, as I got a teenager, and then now a toddler, soon to too soon to be 3. You got to look at like ways of certain sayings, certain ways to look at things, certain ways to express your emotions as an adult to project on them, because kids wear that. We all can remember how our parents got on us like it was yesterday. Me saying that right now, y'all probably thinking about one moment where our parents came down on us. You was like, damn. But we look at how that shaped us today. And so that's kind of like how I've been trying to plan my tone, patience. Oh, bro, you gotta have a lot of patience.
See, I don't have
So
that.
you do,
Yeah.
bro. You gotta have a lot of patience, man. And sometimes you be at wit's end, and that's why I just go play video games. You gotta remove yourself from the situation. Um, and that's healthy because we're all human beings. Instead of just wallowing in that, you gotta remove yourself from the situation. Sometimes take a breath, bro. Um, we are all parents on this podcast, but at the same time, we all human beings too. And so definitely take a step back, come up for air, man. Don't react, blindly react. That's with anything, because kids gonna test you, especially teenagers. We all been teenagers where we felt like we know everything. Like we felt like we know everything. And you've kind of find yourself just like our parents and then their parents before them, like, man, I done been around this block. I know that game, seen that game. And so you just gotta have that patience, man. That is probably one of the biggest things that I've learned and still am learning. You know what I'm saying? It's funny that there's no book for this. There's literally no book for this, right? But everybody has been around the block, but it's a lot of gray areas. Everybody's been around the block, like our parents, our grandparents, we all been around the block. We kind of learn those skills, right? But there's never really a book for this because there's so many gray areas, man. So you gotta learn. You gotta learn every day. That what I'm saying, that's just literally my take on it. You gotta learn every day.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's levels to this parenting thing. I can only imagine putting the word step in front of that parent word, that how that complicates things even more, because between two people that's together, parenting complicates things, right? Like kids are, they complicate a lot, bro. Like for those who have kids, I would I would venture out to say you would agree with that kids can complicate marriages, relationships, whatever,
Mhm.
because you really find out, and these are things you don't discuss when you shooting the club up, and you know what I mean, about to
Hmm.
you don't really discuss these type of things of like, what's your parenting style? What do you feel about discipline? How do you approach discipline? How are you disciplined as a kid? Do you want to follow those patterns? Right? There's a lot of questions that you shouldn't think about in the moment, because I mean, it's the moment, right? We all know what that moment feels like, and it's amazing. So you don't think about the repercussions, or even when you're trying to plan to have kids, maybe we should have those conversations, but I don't think we really understand, like, okay, when they actually come out, these are the steps we're going to take from a discipline standpoint, from punishment, because you kind of learn on the fly, you know what I mean? So I can only imagine from a step parent perspective that that's a tough gig, man. And I'm like DC, man. I don't know how I would feel about signing up for that. I'm sure I could take it on, and I know some dope people that's taking on that responsibility. And shout out to anybody who decided, you know what, I'm going to accept another person's child and help raise them like they're my own. Because again, like DC was saying, it's a
Yeah.
scary thought. You know what I mean? That's tough, because again, what is off limits at that point? It should be nothing, but we all know like that can muddy the waters a little bit. Like if you go too hard on the discipline, like I just think about the story of, and I'm not a step parent, so I can't truly put myself in a position where I can talk about personal experience. However, I've heard enough stories and been around people who've been in step situations that I think articulate the thought process of saying I've seen people go probably a little too far with the discipline fact of it, right? And just think back to I was looking at the shout out to the Pivot podcast too. I was looking at Shaq's story and him talking about his father. You know, people said stepfather,
Yeah, great story.
yeah, Phil, but you know, he always say, no, that's my father. And from the sound of it, Phil was tough as hell, right? Phil used to put them
Yeah.
paws on Big Shaq, and you know, he was a drill sergeant, army guy, and or military guy. I don't know if it was army or not, but military guy, very strict, put the paws on them, believed in discipline back in the days where discipline was like, you know, my parents believed in that type of discipline where man, I got my ass whooped. Like it wasn't no
Ditto.
it wasn't no
Oh, yeah.
timeouts. You know what I mean? That
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
a thing when I was coming up.
Nah.
So I would imagine that now it's a little different because again, we grew up in those times and you think about what was allowed then. If I'm going to raise you like my own son, I'm going to beat you like my own son. Now it might, you know what I mean? Now it might be those lines get a little blurred when you talk about step parents. Like, are you going to allow me to do that? Because what you see, especially if you're not in the life early on, like let's say the kid is, you know, 6+, where they can start acknowledging that you're not my father or mother or whatever the case may be. You're not that person. And I know and have a good relationship with my mother, father, whatever the situation may lead to. You have that person that you can go to. But on the other hand, you know what I mean? You got, let's say it's a father and son type of situation. And, you know what I mean? The stepdaddy is going in where the discipline is needed, but the father thinks, you know what I mean, you're going too hard on my son because I was raised a certain type of way and I don't believe in that. You know what I mean? Like there's just so many different stories and scenarios that you throw in there that it's just different. You know what I mean? It's a complicated environment that that word co-parenting and step parents and all that just is way too complicated. And I would be, me personally, like DC said, very reluctant. I would never say never. Obviously, I'm married now, and we never know what will happen. But I would be very reluctant on taking on that responsibility because it's such a difficult dynamic, in my opinion.
For sure. Let me ask you this. So, question before I get going: how do we feel about corporal punishment with kids? So, like whooping the kids.
So true story, man. I'll go first. I have mixed feelings on it. My goal was not to whoop my child. You know what I mean? Like I would pinch him and, you know, give him chest shots and those things. Not when he was a baby, but you know, my kid is 8 now, so I sometimes give him a good Ric Flair, bro, and you know he he know, yeah, he know what's up. You know what I mean? He know what's up. I gave him one day, and like I already know. For those who don't know, I'm pretty damn strong, bro. Like I don't like to brag about that type of stuff.
I hear Jim Ross.
But yeah, I'm pretty damn strong.
Across the chest.
So I know how to hold my punches though, and I know how to minimize my strength. So I just gave him a quick shot, and you know, he fell to the floor. He dramatic too, so it was a little over dramatic, but he fell to the floor, and you know, he started doing his thing, and I was like, bro, like chill out. So for a minute that worked, right? And that was recently. That was probably 5-6 months ago. So it was working for a minute. And again, my thought process was whoopings. I didn't feel like they were effective, but then he disrespected his mother one day and I had to get in that butt, pause, you know what I mean? And that was the first time I legitly whooped him, I would say. And it was a hand. It wasn't no belt or switch or nothing like the stuff I used to get hit with, muffin pans or whatever the hell close was. You know, whatever was close to my mother. Whatever was close, you know what I mean? It wasn't nothing like that. But again, I know I'm strong. So I gave him a couple taps to the backside and just let him feel the wrath. Like, bro, like I've tried to avoid this. We tried to talk it out. But at the end of the day, you have to get some act right to understand what is and what's not going to be tolerated. So that's my thought on it. I still don't want to have to bring that out However, I will if I feel
Yeah.
the absolute need to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What about you, T?
So, man, I'm a product of corporate. I'm a product of corporate punishment. Um, Shoot, I got whooped, bro. I mean, shout out to you, man. If you had to go pick a switch, got hit with the
Hmm.
flip flop. Extend. Hey, shout out to you because that's how I was raised, right? And it's true. You're a product of your environment and how you were raised, right? And I was a huge proponent of that. And shout out to my wife for always talking me off the off the ledge. A lot, man. And I realized
And you got girls too. Like
and I got
that is a
girls.
difference. I got two
And I got
boys, so
girls. And one of the things is and y'all know the teenager in this house, man. So one of the things is, man, and I learned this from my uncle as well. Just take away stuff they love. Cause they got, kids, they're gonna have false idols. And what I mean by that is the electronics, the things they like to do outside. Those things that they really, 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 really look forward to getting their hands on. Just take that shit. And it kind of awakens them. They come out of that hypnosis of like, oh damn, I was acting crazy. I was, you know what I mean? And those are the things where you really gotta, and it ain't no time out. Like, oh yeah, we gonna take it for like 15 minutes. Nah, you gotta like take that stuff down and almost have them literally have withdrawals from all that stuff that they have, and they understand what they don't. And I think in this day and age, right now, and I think you guys all know we worked hard. We talk about our parents worked hard. We worked hard to get our kids in different situations to see things and to be in surroundings that we didn't have to, right? And so I think removing those things that they really have deemed as privileges and help them understand, I think that's gonna be key. Because one of the things I plan on doing, actually, again, man, the teenager wilding out, privileged stuff. I was actually talking to my wife about this. I was like, "Yo, I want to take her to a shelter, and I want her to see how these kids are living in the shelter, and then really see what she has in front of her, and what she can look forward, you know, look towards, what I'm saying, and the support that she has, because something it could be really humbling, and so those are my eye openings now, where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna remove something and have this conversation and see what comes from it. You know what I mean? Because yeah, you know, I can't be Ike Turner out here. So that's like how I view things now, man. Like I said, this is probably to what you guys said earlier, like coming into a relationship like that. There's some reluctancy on the female side too. But I would say this for me, and I can speak for me. This is probably one of the funnest, hardest things I've done in my life. So take that as what you will, man. And we can always chop it up. Anybody listening can throw their comments. But for me, it's one of the funnest, hardest things I've done in my life, man, because I actually seen this young lady grow up from a very young age to where she is now. And I'm a part of that. You know what I mean? I'm a part of that timeline. And so that's where I stand with it.
Yeah, man. So a couple things, man. I've given T his flowers probably multiple times before, man, for stepping up as a stepfather, because I recognize the challenges that comes with that. I grew up getting whoopings as a kid. I will say my parents, it wasn't like a first resort kind of thing. Like if I got a whooping, I really did deserve it in hindsight. Like
Mhm.
it wasn't like, if I talked back to my mom, I was gonna automatically get a whooping. You know what I mean? Like I had to like do something that I had to do something egregious or do something repeatedly to ultimately get the whooping. So it was never like I never really had the parents where it's like I'm gonna grab the first thing I can. Like I knew the whooping was coming. You know that build up where you crying, they make you go get the belt and this stuff. Like I
Mhm.
knew it was coming. It wasn't like really by surprise and whatnot. And because I know some kids like you just they come home and wow, they just get it because they knew their mom knew something had happened and they or they dad or whatever, and they spring into action, no conversation. But like with me, whenever I got whoopings, like I knew it was coming. I got an explanation as to why it was coming. And then after it happened, I had
I
to go
never
walk it
got
off.
that. No explanation. I would get a question, which you knew the answer to. Like, hey, let's say I skipped school, come in the house. So, how was school today? Like, I know that they know now. Like,
Yeah.
that's how it's like, I know that they know now, so I'm about to get touched up.
Yeah, it was something like that. But I mean, because even that is something like an explanation. Like it wasn't like you just came home and they were just like, you didn't go to school, pop, pop, pop. Like it was something of a convo, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. But with that being said, and I'm still that way. Like I used to whoop Amaya. At a certain age, I stopped. Like you mentioned, a teenager. I never had to whoop her, or I chose not to do that as a teenager. I feel like when you hit a certain age, you can rationalize with a child more, kind of like T, to your point, take away something they love, this, that, and the third. I feel like with younger kids, their minds ain't quite as developed, and you got to give them something they can feel sometimes. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel about it. You're not
The
gonna change my
hands
mind.
of Jesus.
Yeah,
What my
and
grandma
it's the
used to
fear of
say.
God.
bro.
It's the fear of God, bro. And the thing about it is, man, you gotta understand, bro. As a parent, you kind of are a God, and I don't mean that in a sacrilegious way. It's in the Bible. Like your parents look at you as God.
Little
You know
G.
what I'm saying? Yeah. So like they they should love and fear you. Your kids should be afraid of you, just like we're supposed to be afraid of God as well as love them. Anyway, I say that to say this, man. Like I'm whooping the kids, and like if I'm with a woman and she like don't put your hands on my kids, I'm like, well then you want to be by yourself your whole life, or you want to simp. You know, that's how I be feeling, man, because it's like, and I'm talking to the single ladies out there that's walking around having kids and like, dog, don't tell me how to raise my kids. Okay, but your kids are usually speaking are the ones that's doing crazy stuff. They wilding out. You know what I'm saying? Generally speaking, you see a kid wilding out, kid make the news, woo woo woo. Look at his family. It's probably a single family home. Like that's a statistical fact, ladies. You know what I'm saying? Don't get mad at me. And so with that being said, the whole
Here
step
we
parent
go.
thing, yeah, the whole step parent thing, I will say, like, I know everybody's situation is different. I'm talking about generally speaking, overall. If you got kids, like you need to lower the bar. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tell you, ladies, ain't too many T's out there. Ain't too many. Like that man different, bro. T is different. Bro, you are different, my guy. I gotta say that. Like you are different. And just in terms of just what you will do for your spouse. You know what I'm saying? I just know that a lot of men wouldn't, bro. And I tip my hat off to you. But understand that is such a high commodity because it's so effing rare. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, to me, I think the whole step parent thing is like two things. One, discipline, I think is a hot button topic. And then probably like going to special events, birthdays, graduations, who does this, who does that. You know what I'm saying? Because you might
Oh,
have a,
that's easy, man. I could chime in right now,
but
bro.
see, here's the thing. What I'm saying, like, you might have an absentee father, right? Well, that makes it real easy. You know, what I mean, he ain't there anyway. So what? But then what if you have the father that's not absentee, and now you got like the whole competing? Who's the best parent? I'm the stepdad. I'm the real dad. I'm the stepmom. I'm the real mom, kind of thing. This back and bro, because I didn't dealt with it with my own child. Like we had, you know, my daughter's mom would be reaching out. I don't be telling my child she can do this or she can do that, and I'm her mom. Like she would come at me like I'm trying to replace her, and I'm like, no, I'm married. Like, what you mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not by myself. So this woman that's by my side, I give her privileges too. Like, and I told my wife, bro, like, you can whoop this child if you need to. Now, it's never come to that, but I'm gonna tell you, bro, like from early on when I knew that like she was the one, when I knew my wife was gonna be my wife, and we was in it for the long haul, I told her, I was like, listen, if something happens when I'm gone, like if we both together, it to me it only makes sense. If it has to escalate, it would be me to do it, right? Because I'm the blood parent. But let's say I'm off somewhere, I'm at work or whatever, and she got her, because that would happen a lot, you know what I'm saying? And my daughter want to act up. I told her, yeah, if you feel that's what you need to do it. And we'll talk about it afterwards. And I'll deal with her mama afterwards. Because I'm gonna have enough trust in you that I know you're not gonna take it too far. Like you got to trust your spouse. It's just like if they both
Facts.
if you're just quote unquote, I don't say if you're just parents, not step parents, you have to trust your spouse that they not gonna straight abuse your child. And to me, it's got to work the same way with a step parent because hell, when you get married, you take the same vows. The vows ain't different for step parents. You know what I'm saying? You take the exact same vows when you're at the altar. So you know what? If such and such act up and I need to do whatever, maybe it's not even physical. If I do whatever I feel is necessary, that's just what it needs to be. Because my thing is, bro, like, and I've been seeing situations with other relationships where the man he can take him out to eat. Oh, the man he can pay that rent or pay that mortgage, puts money in the light bill. He can show up for birthdays and graduation, but he better not raise his voice at that boy. But that's a substitute teacher, dog,
Mm-hmm.
for life. And you're gonna sign that man up, and then you wonder why your son or your daughter or whatever don't respect authority. Because you taught your child not to respect authority. You taught your child not to respect the man or woman that's in that very house that they paying for. And that's what I can't get, bro. Like it's just the whole, and that's why I say I gotta stay out of it, bro.
Yeah,
Because
getting handcuffed,
because
that's the worst thing.
yeah, you can't. But a lot of relationships are like that. I would say most. I don't know. That's just me speculating, but I would say most, bro. Like they come in on. Oh, you better not do this to my son. Or you better not do this to my daughter. All right. Well, you can be by yourself. Just know that you'll be by yourself, and you need to take ownership for what happens with your child. Because
Mm-hmm.
being a parent with two parents ain't easy. That's what Rod said. So
Mm-hmm.
imagine how it is as a single parent. And I know a lot of people will give prizes. Oh, she's a single parent. She did the best she could. I don't give no prize. Like you chose. Like if you choose to be single parent and you choose to not deal with the cards you're dealt, you know what I'm saying? You might have to change your standards or whatever it might be because of decisions you've made. Just like I got to make decisions based on decisions that I've made. Hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And you just know you might be alone your whole life and you have to get a dog and make sure you can save it for retirement because it's tough to do it by yourself.
It is tough to do it by yourself, and I don't want to discredit because you're right. There are some young ladies that are single, and that's how they view things. But there are some young ladies who, you know, it's past relationships that it went really, really, really bad, and maybe that person, he or she, did something way over the top with their children. So now it's trust issues that they carry to the next relationship. So it's hard to really like. I can't pinpoint it. You know what I mean? But the events thing is really, I mean, whoever shows up shows up. That's how I look at it, right? Because
What if you got
it
limited tickets though? Like, what if it
Right.
comes down to,
bars,
uh,
Yeah,
bars,
graduations, like for example, graduation, my daughter graduated high school last year, 4 tickets. Now,
yeah.
and there were, and I'm gonna tell you, we had some drama with them tickets. We had drama with who could go to the graduation and who couldn't. Ended up working itself out in the end, but there was definitely some static back there, bro.
mhm,
And on top of that, now I've never dealt with this, but I've seen it, the dick swinging contest. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
Stepdad come with a, I don't know, he gets the child an iPhone. Dad come with a PlayStation 5.
mhm,
You know what I'm saying? Like they going
I'm
back and
not.
forth.
I'm not doing that. So, like, case in point, if he want to get the iPhone 20, okay, like that's just what that is. Okay. Now, case in point, like I said, the communication getting better. I'm going to say, hey, you sure you want to do that because da 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 is happening. So I'm trying to help you save your bread, bro. Because what's going to happen is if you get this iPhone 20, it probably ain't gonna get used for a minute because here's what's happening in this household. So now those are the type of conversations where it's like, oh, straight up, yeah, let me hold off on that iPhone 20. So those, but again,
No, Rick, hold on. Make sure I understand. You said the iPhone 20 ain't gonna get used for a while. So you telling that to the person who bought it?
yeah. So like,
So even
there's
that's static, ain't
conversations.
it? So
Okay,
so
no, no,
so
no,
I'm the dad.
no,
I'm the
no. It's
dad,
not
T.
static.
I'm the
It's not
dad, T.
static.
How you gonna tell me
You're
my
the
child
dad,
can't use
right?
the
You're the
iPhone
dad.
20?
Let's talk. Let's talk. I'm gonna say, here's what's going on in this house, whether it's with grades, respect, chores not getting done, these things, right? So it's like, hey, I'm just letting you know, like, you can get the iPhone 20, but right now, this person is on punishment. This person is restricted from technology. So you let me know how you feel, because I think we both are on the same page with education. So you let me know how you feel. You still want to get this phone, knowing that the education part ain't being met. Like, whatever that is, whatever you hold to high regard, it's going to be one of those three things. And
So I'm
that's why I
DC.
say you got to have the communication and conversation.
So I'm DC the dad, right? I'm DC
Okay.
the dad, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And look, I know what's going on, but I mean,
Try,
iPhone, getting an iPhone. Hey, and the thing is that you got my child living under your roof. What are you doing? What are you doing that my child is disrespectful and great? She ain't never had this problem with me. He ain't never had this problem with me. That sounds like a personal problem, bro. So I tell you what, I'm gonna get him this iPhone.
Yep.
And when I call him, he better answer it. Otherwise, I'm pulling up.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's totally fine, man. And I'll let you know when he don't answer the phone. This is why, and we can have that conversation. Like, I've had, and now, like, in credit, in cut, I had these conversations, bro. Like, hey, we need to have a face to face, or hey, FaceTime me, bro. Like, we can have a conversation with it, being civilized as adults. Now, if we take it there and they get all rowdy and smoky,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Which in the past, and I'll say in the past, I'm talking years, that has happened. And then it took being, let's be men about the situation. Now let's be men about the situation. Let's take all this measuring stick contest, all this stuff. Let's just be men about the situation, bro. What do you want to see the best out of your kid? Tell me, what do you want to see the best out of your kid in this world? And I think we're going to align on the same things.
Okay. Are you? But you think y'all gonna align on everything? Like
no.
Not everybody care about. Not every parent care about grades like that.
No, we're not. But there's things, like I said, there's gonna be a list of things we're gonna align on, though. Is it going? Are we gonna check the box on everything? No. But I guarantee you, we're gonna align on something, and I'm gonna say, hey, bro. So that ain't meeting your standards. That ain't meeting my standards. You still want to spend that money? Now, do you want to still spend that money? If so, go ahead, because you can't. Just like you can't tell me how me and my wife gonna spend our money. I'm not gonna tell you, but I'm gonna make you aware, so that way when you be like, damn, I spent this money on this, man, he don't even use it. And I was like, I tried to tell you that, bro.
So in that scenario,
he won't use it because the stepdad is blocking.
No, I ain't talking about the phone. I'm just saying, I said the phone, but I'm saying anything. You might be like, hey, man, I'm about to buy a skateboard. I'm like, yo, he don't skateboard, bro. Like, he don't skateboard. Don't buy that.
In those scenarios, do custody trump all, though?
If it's custody, I mean, it would be the mom.
Like in
society.
That's what I'm saying.
The final call.
So that's why I'm asking, like, does custody trump all? Because typically, again, like you said, it might be some good fathers that just didn't get custody. Normally, women get that fair advantage or unfair advantage, I should say, in a lot of situations. Some situations is fair because it just happens that way. But if they are with the mom and you're the stepdaddy and the biological father is trying to be as much in their life as they possibly can, however, the person who holds the custody, at least from what I've seen in some relationships, the person who holds the custody is the one who holds the rules, regulations, and those type of things. So if I'm saying, I'm gonna get you this iPhone, whatever number, we on 20 already. It's like, man, we talking some years down the road. But let's say I get you
next month.
right. I get you that new boy, and I spend a G on it or whatever because I'm gonna go pro because I feel like I'm lacking in something. So I'm gonna get my kid this pro and make them feel special. You know what I mean? So let's say I go out and buy this $1,000 phone, give it to the child, but the custody parent along with the step parent is both saying, yo, this is not happening. You can buy it, but they're not going to use it. that just seems like it's gone.
That sounds like a line drawn in the sand, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
But you got to be
tough.
clear. So, Rod, if I'm telling you they're not going to use it, I'm telling you they're not going to use it because of this needs to change. So it's not like, hey, they ain't using it at all. I'm like, hey,
Mhm.
Rod, right now, they ain't going to be able to use that thing because they need to get here in this household. Okay? So if you buy it, ship it, go ahead. Mum's the word. We're going to keep it wrapped up, bundled, all that good stuff. But we need to see this, man. And we need you to get it. And sometimes, like I said, sometimes you're not gonna agree, but we're gonna say, hey man, we just need you to align with us on this one, bro. Because what it's creating is and it's gonna hurt you too in the future, Rob. The moment you say no, they just gonna get pissed off and come to us, right?
Mhm.
Just to get a yes, and vice versa. So we need to get aligned. So there is no back and forth. So if it's like, hey, I'm gonna get you, so Rob, I'm letting you know, bro, being disrespectful, bro, not meeting grades, bro. We bringing F's in here. We got to turn this stuff around.
So I'm dad T. I'm the dad T.
Yeah.
So grades, we can agree on that. That's black and white. Either it's an A or a B or an F or whatever it is, right? But this whole attitude, I think you're blown out of proportion. You know
Bro,
what I mean? Kids have attitudes sometimes. You're gonna take a whole phone just because they disappoint.
Not just one incident. It's been happening multiple incidents, and now it's actually happening with this person's teachers. This person's, and we all role playing. This ain't really happening.
Right.
But,
Yeah, this ain't
like,
real,
this
y'all.
is happening, but I'm telling you, like, these things are happening at school with the teachers.
Yeah.
This thing is happening. They're gonna end up getting kicked out of school, bro. So what's the point of having a phone? You ain't getting no education.
But T, I know my child's mother, and I know that person has a crazy attitude, and hell, sometimes I blow up on that person too, man. So I understand why she or he is blowing up on him, because I had to deal with that person forever. I don't know how you deal with her, T, but I had to
Right.
deal with her forever. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I'm gonna buy her this phone. I'm gonna talk to her, and then we should be good.
Okay, so my response to this will say, hey, again, if that's what you want to do, get the phone. But yes, have a conversation with your
But
kid too to see if they can start turning this stuff around. So that way your child is aware of now is aware that you are aware. And if it's not being turned around, and let's say a month go by, you be like, hey, why you take the phone? Now you know that there's still a problem continuing.
but I
You
need to be
cool?
able to FaceTime her at any time. You know
can
what I
call
mean?
my
That's
phone.
my daughter.
You can call my phone. You can call my phone.
Oh, so you the gatekeeper now?
I'm not the gatekeeper, but what I'm saying
How the
is, man,
stepdad the gatekeeper?
whoa. Because you can, and also you can call the mother of your child phone too. Because here's the thing:
She don't have
they got that
FaceTime.
phone?
She don't
Why they
have
got that-
FaceTime though.
Man, hey,
She like
She got a flip
Android.
phone.
hey, guess what? Hey, but guess what, bro? You can call my line anytime, bro. Because I tell you this, I'll even text you and let you know when that phone got taken away. So if you want to call, go ahead and call my phone, bro. I would hand it to him or her, and y'all can have that conversation. Because what's happening is why they got that phone in their possession, they still on YouTube playing games, and they not doing what they need to be doing, bro. So you can FaceTime me, and that way,
Right.
and you can have the phone, bro. Like they can have the phone, bro. I'll get it back later. But so just text me, say, hey, I'm about to call. It's yours, bro. I will stop what I'm doing.
Shout out to step parents, bro. That sounds like
Bro,
a
I'm
lot.
not gonna
Yo.
I'm not gonna
I'm about to
be
say, bro. T talking about there's no book, bro. It sounds like you might need to write that book,
Yeah,
my
that-
guy.
bro,
That's
that's not a book,
like-
bro. I'm some of these situations, not all. You gotta speak from experience, or you learn from your mistakes in your
Yeah,
conversation.
man.
So
It's time to
that's
start
just
writing,
what that
T.
is, bro.
It's time to start
Yeah.
writing, bro. I mean, honestly,
I-
I'm gonna tell you, I feel like I was throwing some stuff at you, but you was with it, bro. You know
just-
what I'm saying?
I would feel
Bro,
like
like I
that.
said, it's the funnest, hardest thing I ever done in my life.
I would feel like it's more difficult to be in that situation than not. Like obviously you're going to have the success stories, the T stories, my homeboy Chuck, he got step kids that, I mean,
Shout out my boy KT.
You
Shout
know
out
what I
my
mean?
boy KT.
Like
as
them
And my
his
boy
kids.
Dane. And my boy Dane. Shout
Yeah.
out to my dogs, man. Because
So-
these dudes is amazing.
It's a rarity though. Like, well, I
It's a
mean,
rarity. That's not
yeah,
normal, T. You do
yeah.
realize
No.
that, though, right?
This is a rarity, but the two guys I just shouted out, they were doing it before me. So that's why I say, like, I mean, I'm you, and those are my dogs. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And so
Yeah.
you learn, you have conversations with the homies, right? You learn. And so now I'm in the situation, man. Like I'm still learning. That's why I said it again. This the third time though, but it's the funnest, hardest thing I ever done in my life.
Yeah, what was the name of that movie with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg?
Step Brothers.
Oh no,
You
no,
talking
no,
about
no.
No,
not
no,
Mar- oh no, not that. Okay, I thought you was gonna say Step Brother. I don't know what you're talking
I know
about, man.
exactly what you're talking about though. They was
no,
step
like
parents,
yeah, where Will Ferrell was
the
the
stepfather.
father. He was the father. Was he the father or the
No, he was the
stepfather? Yeah,
stepfather,
he was
bro.
the
And Mark
stepfather.
Oh
Wahlberg was the
yeah,
father.
yeah. I
Yeah,
know you. I
yeah.
can't think what it's called, but I know what you mean.
For some reason, that's how I imagine all co-parenting relationships, bro. Is that you're gonna have that type of dynamic, which you hear a lot because to get two people on one accord is damn near impossible half of the time. So to get three or four people in the mix and get everybody on the same accord, even when it comes to their child or the child or children, whatever the case may be, like that is hard, bro. Like
You
you
gotta
understand you
communicate.
understand how hard it is to have a business with more than just two people. Like us doing this, like even us doing this podcast with three people, bro. That's rare to be successful. I mean, look at well, I'm not saying we're successful yet, but look at the
Keyword yet. We on the way.
yeah, look at the rarity of individuals that make it in any type of environment with more than two brains. You know, even two, like I said, is it's tough because again, you have so many different personalities and different opinions, and trying to incorporate a child into that mix and get everybody and the stepmother on the other side and this person and like that just is like I said, shout out to the folks that have made that happen because that man, that sounds like it's a headache and a half, bro.
It's
Yeah, it does.
one
It's
word you
Daddy's
said
House,
was
by the way.
tough.
That Will Ferrell movie you talking about?
Daddy's
Daddy's House.
home. Daddy's home.
Daddy's
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 home.
home. Daddy's
Daddy's
home. Yeah,
home.
that's what
Okay,
it
yeah,
was.
yeah.
Fire.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you just said it. It's tough, but you gotta start putting in some trust into it. The other T word, man. And like now from personal experience, man, me and our oldest man, I ain't we we ain't talk. You can even say it was probably smoke, but we had to realize, man, you really, like I said, you gotta step back and realize, yo, what do you want best for this child, man? Because at the end of the day, like we ain't here forever. Like nobody is, bro.
hmm
Everybody got a finite date. So we ain't
hmm
gonna be here forever. So how the hell we gonna set this person up for success when we gone?
Yeah.
Word, bro. Did you make a diss track at one point? I know
Nah,
you was
nah.
a rapper, bro.
Yo, he did it. This.
uh,
He got it written
uh,
down somewhere.
but
hey,
He
it,
just
it,
told
it
me,
goes to
fella.
what you said. It
it's
goes to
in the
what you just
file
said.
somewhere.
It goes to
Uh-huh.
what you said though. I would say the events, one of the first events I went to, it was just like, I'm gonna walk by you, bro, like I didn't even see you. But now it ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like the last time I seen him, bro, I dapped him up and hugged him. Like, yo, what's good? Because at the end of the day, man, this shit bigger than us. And I ain't talking about just kids, bro. Just like people in general, bro. Everybody wanna, put all this energy behind people getting beefed out and this and this and this, man. But other people watch that shit, bro, and then they mimic that. And so that's how I look at things, in life in general, bro. Because I can go around and be like, man, I got smoke all day, but sooner or later somebody gonna mimic that, bro. And probably whoever mimics that, bro, it could be a worse situation. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I looked at it, how I approached it, and began to have those type of conversations.
So yeah,
Man,
man.
you just move off it from there, man.
Yeah, I feel you, bro. I'll say, speaking on the side of being a parent, a non custodial parent. Um,
That's the word I was looking for. Custodial. Yeah,
yeah,
there it
yeah,
is.
yeah. Being the non custodial parent, man, there's a lot of concessions you got to make because there's only so much you can control.
Correct.
Yeah. And so, with that being said, I know I speak a lot on what the women can do better, but I'm gonna talk to the fellas, man. Fellas, if you're gonna have kids, man, you need to, well, one, know who you're having children with. You know what I'm saying? Like, know them, as in, beyond they got the fat ass. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to know who they are, and I'm not even saying as in they're a good or bad person, whether or not they're compatible with you or not. You know what I'm saying? Because it's really not about a matter of good or bad for the most part. It's usually, are y'all seeing eye to eye? Are y'all on the same level? And furthermore, once you have a child with a woman, I think that as a man, you have a duty to try to make it work as best you can. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean is when I say make it work, I mean as in stay with the woman. You know what I'm saying? Because a nuclear home, that's where it starts, bro. And if you look at most successful people, to T's point, how he said, when we're dead and gone, the folks who are most successful, they usually come from nuclear homes. And so to the men, I'll say, bro, and I'm speaking to myself. I mean, my daughter's graduated high school. She's in college doing great. But like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I've definitely got some regrets, even in my situation. I still be like, man, maybe I could have did this better. Maybe I could have did that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's things that you are going to miss. You know what I'm saying? Right or wrong. So to the fellas out there, I know, there's all the baby mama drama. I know all the stories, but at the end of the day, bro, you should have knew what you was getting into. You know what I'm saying? And I was young. I should have knew what I was getting into. I'm talking to myself as well. I got one finger pointing at y'all and three back at me, right? So at the end of the day, though, I think that it's important to preserve that nuclear family. And if you with a woman, and let's say y'all are married, bro, if y'all don't make it, let's say y'all get divorced, and I know there's a lot of reasons, but if y'all don't make it and you no longer in the house because your wife got the kids or whatever, I'm sorry, bro, but that's on you. Like, I mean, life is not fair, but like that's on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's on you to try to keep her, or even you should have known who you was dealing with beforehand. Because I'm gonna tell you, bro, like without getting too deep, in hindsight, I knew who I was dealing with. Like I knew who I was dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And I made my decision. You know what I'm talking about?
Know what I'm
So
saying, bro? Hey, if you're going outside and it's raining, get an umbrella. All I'm gonna say, if you jumping out of a plane, you need to
Bro,
have your parachute.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. But you just got to make it work. At the end, and the thing is, we can say this about the ladies and woo woo woo, but at the end of the day, man, we men, bro, we the ones that make the world turn. And if we're gonna kind of beat our chest and say that, we also got to accept the responsibility that comes with that as well. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you're gonna have kids, man, like you need to handle that. It's a real responsibility, not only to the child, but to the mother as well.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's
There it
what I'll
is,
say
right
about
there,
that.
man. No, real talk. Go ahead, Rod.
I know, man. That's real.
Yeah. But with that said, that's another I can't deal with nobody else's kids, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
I'm
but
not.
even if you split, and I hear everything you saying, stay involved. Stay involved. And I'm not saying you, DC. Like I said, yo, stay involved,
Yeah.
I don't
fellas.
I
Like
don't see
stay
how
involved because
I don't see how
we as
anybody
men,
would not though. Like
nah, because
for
it's
people who
plenty
have
men who be like,
I
oh man,
I
f this chick, so
bro,
I
I
Yeah.
ain't
hear
rocking with the
A
I
lot.
chick,
I
bro.
hear what you're
Chill.
saying, but what I'm saying is I don't see how you do that. I can understand like
I
leaving
don't
my
either.
kids. I can understand leaving my kids for a couple hours because I mean, Lord knows they can drive me crazy from time to time.
Facts.
The big one too, the wife too, can drive me nuts time to time, but that's part of life, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, like I love my wife, seriously, I do, but there's no other love that I've been able to really experience outside of being able to see both of my kids born for the first time. When I laid eyes on them, at that moment, I realized what true
It's
love
real.
really was, bro.
Yeah,
So
it's real.
that's why I don't understand how people can walk out of their kids' lives and just be like, they all right, they can handle it. You know what I mean? Or I
They
don't need to
mama
see them.
there.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I do understand there's certain situations where you get something on the side and you get somebody knocked up and there's beef and all that stuff and you get you have some toxic situations, but again, that love for your child, I can't understand why anybody would not want to be involved in their kid's life, man. Like,
Yeah, me
yeah,
neither.
It's here. We only got a few minutes, but I'll tell you this: it's the crab in the barrel mentality. And what I mean by that is, not me, but all right, I come from a single family home, so I made it. They can make it.
Yeah, that mentality definitely goes for
I
sure.
made it. I made it.
Yeah.
They can make it. Like it ain't that
Mhm.
bad. You see what I'm
yeah,
saying? And
I don't
but
want it to be too
and that
easy for them. They'll be spoiled. I heard
they
some
they
dumb shit like that before too.
like
Yeah, I
that
don't
just,
know.
bro,
this is real
that just
things
blows
though.
my mind, bro. Like, what?
Yeah,
You
it's
got to put a
nonsense.
helmet on, bro, because that's really what that is, and that's why I'm saying, guys, like fellas, bro, chill out with that, man. Like if you ain't got to get along with your baby mom, but at the same time, bro, like you got to be in the picture. You gotta be in the picture. Like there's no excuse not to be, bro, unless you did. I'm gonna put it. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man, bro.
You
That
just
that just
that's just what it
yeah.
is,
that
bro.
that blows my mind that you got grown men or even shit halfway grown men out here that don't want to be involved in their kids' life that they seen holding for the first time, bro. Like, I it just blows my mind. Like,
They might not have been there, bro.
you're
When you
right.
saw the birth,
You're
they
right.
might not have saw the birth.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's a fact. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I would go through a brick wall, through a train, through whatever for them kids, bro. Like, it ain't nothing you can that's gonna make me say, nah, I'm good. They'll be all right. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, that's from me, bro. That's my seed. And I love them so much that I always felt that, if me and my wife didn't work out, I got a certain special honor for her for giving me those kids. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't, and again, I don't know, this is hypothetical. I wouldn't let nobody talk bad about my wife, even if we weren't together anymore, because like that's the mother of my kids, bro. Like, at the end of the day, like, we've been through some things, and we didn't have no one night stand. It wasn't no situation where it was like, y'all don't even know this woman. Like, again, like, we went through some things to have both of our kids. We went through multiple things to make sure that these kids were conceived, bro. Like, there was times where it was thoughts like, yo, this might not happen. So, for us to go what we go through or what we went through, again, there's nothing you can even say bad about her. That's how much I love these kids. You know what I mean? So I don't understand it. Sorry for the long-winded thing, but that just blew my mind. Just
Nah,
hearing
man,
that
speak your truth, bro.
say you got to stay involved, bro. There is no option. There is no option. Like, what do you mean
Hey,
you
own
have to
that
stay
thought,
in?
bro.
I mean, it's the truth though. Like,
I feel you.
you don't have to tell nobody you need to stay involved, bro. Like, that's your responsibility. Ain't no you need to do nothing. It's make it happen, bro. That's it. Love them
Bro,
kids.
Woo! Hey, I
this is the
feel you,
most credit
Rod. You
I ever
turned
heard
up.
Rod in my life, bro.
Yeah,
Like, God, dog.
yeah. He turned up,
Yeah.
bro. I love it. I
Yo,
love it. And
Rod
I
is
hope whoever,
ultra
oh,
turn.
whoever hearing that, take this episode and say, "Hey, bro, you need to listen to this," or "Hey, sis, y'all need to listen to this," because obviously, like I said, we're gonna have these type of conversations, man, on this podcast, and then it's just about music and sports. We're gonna have these type of conversations, and so I oof, I do want to talk about some more kid stuff. I'm gonna save it for next episode because I want to hear y'all brains on that. But man, I feel good, man, as we wrapping this thing up, man. Hey, Rod, you vented, told it how it was. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done getting some stuff off my chest. DC, how
Mhm.
you feel, bro?
You know, I always got something. I can add something. Only thing I'll say is this: I know Rod was saying, he would hold his, and maybe just his wife in specifically, but
Mhm.
hold his woman in regard for having kids. So I personally do not hold women in high regard just for having kids, because to me that's just genetics. Like, okay, you hit the genetic lottery that allows you to have kids. Like, like the whole matter of fact, and this might be a whole another thing, and I might be, but have y'all ever heard of a push present? Or
Yeah.
like a
Yep.
baby moon and stuff like that.
Yep.
But I'm gonna tell you something, man. To me, that's some bullshit. I don't like it at all, and I think that it actually kind of sets the wrong type of table for a baby that's coming, because my thought is, okay, a push present. So a push present, right? So those who don't know, because I just learned about this recently. Push present is a present you give to your wife or your significant other for having a baby for you. You know, that's it. And to me, I think that is some nonsense because all women can have babies. Like that's not a skill. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not something you had to do. I'll give you a present for helping me raise my kids and doing
Hmm.
things like that, but like I'm not giving you a present for being a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like and having reproductive organs. Like you don't get no present for
Well,
that.
not
And
not
then
every woman can though, bro.
okay, but still, so if not every woman can, but why should you get a present for something you have no control over? Like a woman can't control whether or not her uterus works. She don't. Why do you get a present for that? And then on top of that, consider this though, bruh. The money that I give my wife or the mother, bro, that's money that don't go to the child because there's only so much money to go around. It's a finite resource. So you know what I'm saying?
No,
So
you done
like,
pissed everybody off.
No,
yeah,
no. I think that. I mean,
it's
we gonna
stupid.
have
Think
to
about
touch.
it.
We gonna have to
It's
touch on
dumb.
that one point. At
We
one
gonna have
point.
to. I'm going over, and we'll talk about it again. But bro, is to me, it's stupid and it's selfish
Oh,
because
I'm
because the
posing the
child, the
question. I gotta
child
hear it. I gotta hear it
got
from the
to because the
streets. I'm
child,
posing the question.
the baby. I mean, having a baby, you're supposed to pour everything into your child. So if
Facts.
I'm supposed to pay everything, why am I pouring into the mother who's supposed to support the child? And we supposed to go on a trip. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to go out of town right before the baby born or something like that. Like, bro, where's all this money coming from? You know, now if you rich and you got it and you just blessed like that, great, spend your money. But if you're just a regular middle class person, like most people are, bro, what are you
So,
doing?
would you say this is a
So,
rich ceremony, rich people person
so
ceremony? So,
I
like
would
Jake could do
say,
this for Beyonce.
and I know we're gonna touch on this more, but I would say for the push present, from what I understand it to be, is not something extravagant, right? It's something that's just like an honorary thing you give to the person for making it through. Because in black women specifically, and I don't know the statistics, maybe we can look that up for the next time. The survival rate of a black woman having a baby naturally, no C-section and all those things, even if they're doing a C-section, the
Yeah, it's low
survival
for
rate
us.
is very low, right? So
It's lower compared
it,
to everybody else, for sure.
correct, correct, correct. So the thought process, from my understanding, again, I haven't looked up the meaning or where it originated, but the thought process was, you know what, you could have died having this baby for us, not just for me, right? Because it's for the woman as well, right? You could have died having this baby for us. And it's to show you that, you know what, I appreciate you for going through that pain. Cause I mean, I get it's a womanly thing and women are built to do that. But again, that shit is painful. It's the survival rate is lower than others. And it's a point to where, the woman has to recover from that shit, dog. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't do it. I'm not man enough to say, well, I am man enough to say I could not handle that. I couldn't handle childbirth. And I know I'm a man and it's physically not possible, but I'm glad I'm a man for that reason. Cause I looked at that happen twice and
Jake.
I'm like, yo,
Man, my wife be on y'all head. Y'all
bro,
think
I
y'all
was,
good. Hey,
bro,
so I read this thing. If you want to know what it feels like naturally,
nah,
um,
I don't need to know, bro. I'm good.
I'm just saying it's.
Nah, I
They
don't
said
need to know.
they
I
said
want to hear it. I want to hear
I read this. I read this. I don't quote me on it. I read it. So you take your finger, and try to stretch your jaw. You take your finger, put it in the corner of your mouth, put the other finger in the corner of your mouth, and just stretch. Just keep stretching and keep stretching, and that all that pain that you feeling on the side of your face, that's 10 times
I'm
what
good,
you
bro.
feeling, bro.
So I just did that for a
Uh,
second. I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good, bro. I just did a slight tug. I'm
I,
straight,
I
bro.
Yeah, bro.
hey, I didn't even try
Hey,
it.
so
I already know I'm good.
shout out to them.
Yeah, hundred
Shout out
percent,
to
bro.
all that, man, for sure.
Like, hey, and maybe I shouldn't even say that because we just ended on the high note. This is probably gonna open
We
another
did end
can
on
of
a high
worms.
note. You was
But
turned up, bro.
hey,
You was turned up, man.
this might open up
Don't
another
ruin
can of
it
worms.
like DC.
Turn up, Rod.
Yeah, we'll say that one for another time. But yeah, we'll get back to that. But I do have a
Yeah.
quote for the people to get through the week, bro.
Yep, you already know I'm
All
about
right,
to
all
Because
throw it
right.
to you, bro. Like, cause
yeah.
you gotta, hey, man, you gotta You gotta end practice well, man.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Break us out.
I saw this yesterday and I was like, oh, we got to tell the people this. So, as you go through your week this week, just think about this one thing: doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will.
That's
Bars.
real.
Bars.
Oh, that's real. That is too
Woo!
real.
Hey. You know what? With that being said, bro, cue the music.